WION Broadband Olympic Edition, partnered by Kia Sonet. Wild by design. Get ready for a new level of wild. Poker Stars, India's home of online poker.
Hello and welcome to the WION Broadband Olympic Edition with me, Digvijay Singhdeo. Now, over the course of this series, we are looking back at the best of Indian sport at the Olympic Games. Now, at the Rio Olympics, PV Sindhu ensured a final flourish by winning a silver medal even as India disappointed with just 2 medals. Sindhu joins me now from Hyderabad to look back on her debut Olympic campaign, if I could call it that. Sindhu, just, the medal tally shows that India won 2 medals, but if you could just zoom out, look at the wider picture, then apart from those 2 medals, there were also 3 players or teams who came fourth. Srikanth in your sport narrowly missed out on the semi-finals. A couple of shooters were within touching distance of the Olympic final. Vinesh got injured when she was a medal hope. So yes, 2 medals, but it was a much better games than what the medal tally suggests.
Yes, talking about 2 medals, which is really good and great, I would say that they were we would have also got a lot more medals because, as you said, people who've missed just in a point or a second when it comes to, every athlete, talking about Deepa Karmakar, who's done really well, and then, even in the wrestling, obviously. So I would say that it's not that we didn't play well. I'm sure everybody has given their best, but it's just that it's just not their day, and they just missed. But we can't say that they haven't played well. We must appreciate that they've come and they've done really well and just missed very narrowly.
Yes, now just talking about you, Sindhu, both your parents were sports persons, so it must have been sort of a lifelong dream for you to reach the Olympics.
Yes, it is a lifelong dream, and it is still a dream, to get that medal at the Olympics, which is not so easy because, Olympics comes once in 4 years, and it is definitely a very big event where everybody would be at their top level and give their 100%. And yes, for me also, when I played the last time, which was the first time for me at the Olympics, so I didn't have any aims. I just thought, okay, I need to give my best and play my game, which turned out to where I've got the silver medal, which I've not expected. And, now I would say that, definitely it's a very proud moment and my life has changed a lot after Olympics. And not only my dream, but I'm sure everybody's dream would be that, to get the medal at the Olympics, which is definitely a great thing, I would say.
Yes, I was lucky enough to be there to see all your matches, Sindhu, and I remember I still have those photos we clicked at the end of those Olympic Games. But, your sport of badminton already had prior success at the Olympics, and it perhaps helps, no? Because you have this know-how on how to win a medal which is sort of passed down. You look at the other sports, you look at wrestling, you look at boxing, you look at shooting, which have won more than 1 medal at the games, and it's sort of it starts off as sort of a chain reaction.
Yes, definitely. I agree that, badminton before was not so much, not so popular. But then I'm sure that, Saina have done really well. And she's got badminton to one level. And definitely after Rio, I would say that, badminton has come to a certain level where everybody wants to take badminton as a profession. And before it was just cricket. But now, badminton also is a sport which is very much recognized. And we should be happy about it because, badminton as a sport has got this... I would say everybody started playing badminton and everybody started thinking that, okay, we have talented players in badminton. And I'm sure that, if people work hard, they will definitely come up in few years of time. So I think that kind of mindset getting into people's mind is very much needed right now in this 21st century.
Sidhu, because you're talking of mindset, I'll just throw a few numbers at you. At 2004 at the Olympics, the Indian shuttlers lost in the first round and the second round, and nobody usually, paid attention because they were expected to perhaps reach the second round. But then 8 years later, we had an Indian on the Olympic podium through Saina Nehwal. You were perhaps just 17 at that point of time. What do you remember about the euphoria when Saina and national coach Gopi Chand, they returned to Hyderabad. That was the academy you trained in as well.
Yes, I remember watching her matches and at the Olympics, obviously, I was really very young. We were watching on TV, and I always thought that, I also wanted to go one day. I was always aiming that, I also want to play so well and want to improve and be there one day. So she won a medal for the country, which was really great. And when they came back, the importance or the way she got the medal for the country has been really really good, and everyone started congratulating her and encouraging her and supporting her. So, looking at that, I'm sure a lot of people might got inspiration, but at the same way, again, badminton as a sport has got into recognition.
Yes, and you entered Rio, Sindhu, with a bit of a reputation, because even though you were very young at the time, you had won World Championship medals in 2013 and 2014. You had the sort of a reputation as a big tournament player. When you have these big medals behind you, how do they sort of boost your confidence heading into the biggest tournament of all, which is the Olympics?
It feels really really good, and it gives me that confidence that I can do really well in big tournaments. Not that people say that I do really well, but it's kind of a confidence where having a world championships medal, like first Indian to get the bronze at that point of time in 2013, is not a small thing. And I must say that after 2012, after beating the Olympic champion in China Open, I have my my game, and that was a turning point in my game, I would say, which has really, where I really thought that, okay, I can do it and I can really work hard and compete with the high standard players. So that confidence and that boost has got me to here right now.
Okay, the thing is, everyone just sort of presumes that to win, especially in your sport, you just need to go there, win your matches, and if you win all your matches, you win an Olympic medal. But it can't be far away from the truth. I was actually in Hyderabad with you ahead of those Rio Games, and I remember arriving at 4:30 in the morning to see you train. Then you would go back home, have some food, come back again for another session, 10 o'clock or something, go back home, rest, and then there was this grueling fitness runs at really hot summer at the Gachibowli Stadium. That's what you don't see. It was pretty grueling sort of build up for you to get you ready for everything that the Olympics could throw at you.
Yes, it's not just so easy, to be there. I'm sure that people might think, people might be happy, people might encourage people to take me as an inspiration. But behind that, there is a lot of hard work, I would say. It's not just few months or just few years of hard work. It is definitely, it takes lots of years to come here, to come to here. And after coming to one certain stage, maintaining that is very, very tough. So in my stage, in my case, yeah, you've seen me playing 4:30 in the morning, and especially before Rio, I was injured in 2015, where I had a stress fracture. So I almost took like 6 to 7 months to come back, and which was really bad. And I almost thought that it's over. Like, what's happening? I don't know what will happen, because my Olympic qualifications also started by then, and I had to play. I had to come back to sport, and I had to play like 22 tournaments in a row to get selected for the Olympics. So it was not easy for me, but I would say the support and the that help and the motivation that my parents and my coach gave me, and they made me believe that that I can do it. I can prove myself, and they made me believe that I can come back much more stronger, which I've done and got a medal at the Olympics. So people should understand the hard work and the commitment, and also being disciplined in life is very much needed.
Now, Sindhu, talking about the Olympics, you were seeded ninth, and your first big test actually came in the pool stages, where you were up against the Canadian Michelle Lee. Now, she had beaten you at the Commonwealth Games in one of those medal matches as well, and it was a pretty close one. It wasn't as easy as the other ones which followed, but it was very tough, and it was very important for you to overcome that. If you had not, your Olympics were over.
Yes, absolutely. I must say that it was really a very important match for me to win, because, yeah, it was like a league match where we had to play with two players, and first match was against Lee Michelle. And in the third set, I would say that I was trailing 17-14. And, if I would have lost that match, I would have been out of Olympics. But still, my coach, and definitely, yes, I myself believed that, I can do it. And that's how the match turned, and I won 21-17. So it was a very crucial match for me to get into the tournament again and also to go out of the tournament. So I must say that that was the turning point after winning against Lee Michelle. I think that gave me a lot of confidence to, be in the tournament and continue playing the rest of the matches.
Sindhu, how did you sort of cocoon yourself against the negativity which was around the Indian contingent? And I don't mean it in a bad sense, because we were expected to win medals, but the medals weren't coming. Deepa Karmakar came fourth, Abhinav Bindra came fourth, Sania Mirza and Rohan Bopanna came fourth on the 14th of August in the mixed doubles. And it sort of weighs you down. So how did you keep your focus even while all this was happening?
Well, it's very important to just be you and be focused. I'm sure that it's not that every day you win or every time you play you will get a medal, or every time you play you will give your 100%. I've seen matches. There was a TV in the in the building where we were seeing matches, we were seeing athletics and a lot of players playing. But it is a bit when they're very close to that medal and when they lose that medal, it is sad at the moment. But I would say that again, it's when it comes to me, I have to just be focused and not think about other things and just give my best. I've seen where actually at the semi-finals, I saw that day night I saw Sakshi playing, and that was the first medal we got before the semi-finals. And I was like, when as soon as she got the medal, and everybody literally shouted, and I was like, fine, now it's my turn and I have to give my best. That's what I thought, and I just went into my room thinking that, and I was all prepared for the next day match.
Yes, it wasn't just a pressure release for you, Sindhu. I can tell you, I was there. I had spent 6 months traveling all over India, visiting national camps, and it was a huge sort of weight lifting all of our shoulders, when she won that medal. But talking about your badminton events, your first knockout was not an easy one at all. It was a tricky one against Tai Tzu Ying, and you and she had sort of sparred across in your junior days as well, weren't you all not as well established? And earlier that year, she had also beaten you at the Asian Championships. And so for you, it was never that Sindhu's got it easy. She had one tricky opponent after another right up till the semi-finals and finals.
Yes, every match was equally tough because it was a tough draw, I must say. And every match I was playing, it was not that okay, Sindhu will pass this, she'll play the quarterfinals. Nobody wasn't that thinking. Everybody was like, okay, let's see what's gonna happen. Sometimes you always have that positive thinking that okay, I can win this, and I will be playing against someone else. But with me at the Olympics, it was just that let's see what happens now. Let's see what will happen and how will I play. So when I played with Tai Tzu, yes, she was a very tricky player and I had to be very much alert from the start. And beating Tai Tzu was one hurdle, but again, playing against Wang Yihan wasn't easy because that was also one of the toughest matches, where it was I think 22-20 and 21-18. Yeah, if I'm not
21-19.
21-19. So it was not easy. Like when I'm playing against Wang Yihan, and she was that time in her top of her career, and she also had won silver at the Olympics in 2012. So for me, it was just that okay, I have to play well and give my best. And yeah, after crossing that, again comes Okuhara at the semi-finals, and I was like, I have to give my best because I've lost with her, before quite. I think 3-4 times I've lost against her, and I was like, this time I'm not gonna leave her. And yeah, first game was really tough, but second game it was 10-all, and I was leading 11-10, and I won 21-10. So that match was really, really good. And after that match, I was like, okay, I have to not be too excited, but I must be happy and get prepared for the finals. That's how my mindset was, going to the match and after every match.
But the beauty of the Olympics, Sindhu, is that no one sport is the same. So in shooting, take Abhinav Bindra's event, you start off in the morning, you have your qualifications, and then you have your final in a couple of hours and it's over. Hockey starts at the beginning of the games, will end right at the end. Badminton is completely different because badminton you play one match every day. There's no rest day. There's no rest day. It's play your match. If you've lost, you go home. If you win, you carry on. So what was the schedule like for you? Because you would play your match, then go back to the village, and that was a different kind of a cocoon.
Yeah, the schedule was we had every day, one match, and it was good that it was just a walkable distance from our building to the stadium. It was right beside the village, the badminton stadium, and it was good in one
Yeah,
way
I think
that
you just had to
as soon
cross a
as
road, if I remember correctly.
yes, yes. As soon as we finished our matches to come back and recover, which is very, very important for every athlete to do that. Your recovery sessions are very important to get prepared for another match after you play a very big match. And I'm sure, mentally and physically, you have to recover your mind as well as your body. And yeah, each match was very important. And after the matches, I used to come back and rest and, have food on time and then go back to sleep. It was like a routine, but it was very important to follow all the steps because otherwise I might have not recovered for another match, and it is not so easy to play semi-finals or quarterfinals at the Olympics.
Yes, because there's the mental pressure as well. It also there's a lot of thinking which happens. But tell me, what are the things you sacrificed when you used to go and have your food? Like you said, no sweets, cell phone nowhere around. People need to understand that when you're at the Olympics, how you keep focused. You have to sort of abandon a lot of things which are very dear to you.
Yeah, I haven't had sweet. Yes, as you said, I didn't have a cell phone, but I would not say that I regret that. But at that point of time, when you want to achieve something in your life, and when you have a goal, and when you have to do anything for that goal, I think you are just fine with it. And once you achieve that, that's more than enough. And for me, I never thought that I missed out something. But yes, when I used to go, to the village and go for dinner or lunch, Gopisa used to always be there with me and used to see what I'm eating because, recovering and also food intake is very, very important to, recover yourself. So in that way, yes, I haven't had sweets. But then, after Olympics, the next day I had like so much sweet after the medal.
Success, Sindhu, is always sweet. Success is always sweet. But you mentioned the Okuhara semi-finals, and it was pretty close initially. And then, as you said, you were leading 11-10, and then you went on this amazing run of 10 straight points, and you reached the final. That's perhaps the first time I saw you pumped up. When you clinched that, you sort of jumped with emotion. Did you realize the magnitude of what you had achieved at that point of time, or did it sink in much later?
No, actually, there was one reason where I thought that when I was playing the semifinals against Okuhara, I didn't want it to be easy one because before that, Carolina played against Lee Zuri, and Lee Zuri was injured. So I was like, this is not about it. I have to give my best and play my game. That was one thing going in my mind. And another thing is, before that I've got a lot of bronze medals. So I was like, this time I'm playing the semifinals and I don't want another one. And if I would have lost against Okuhara, I would have, not played with Lee Zuri, but I would have got an easy medal because Lee Zuri was injured. You know, so that also was going on in my mind that I didn't want an easy one. So I want to fight and I want to get over this. And that's how, in the semi-finals, I just gave my like 200% and finished it off.
But Leander Paes, Mahesh Bhupati both told me, and even Saina Nehwal, when they lost their semi-final matches, they never wanted to play the bronze medal match because you obviously go in wanting to play and win gold. So in that sense, you had cleared that hurdle. You were in the biggest match of your life. Was it relief that evening preparing for the match? Next day, was it relief or was it apprehension? What was going through your mind? Because the medal was assured.
So once the medal was assured, I never looked back or I never thought if I would have lost. But yes, before the match, I was always thinking that I don't want a bronze medal where I lose in the semi-finals and get an easy medal. But I always, after the match was over and in the game also, I never thought that I will lose. I always thought that okay, I can win and I can do it, and that's how I played my match. And yeah, after the match was over, I never looked back. I always thought that okay, finals and I have to prepare for it and I have to give my best. That's what I thought, and went into the match that way. So I was just like, I was not looking back. At the same time, I wasn't overconfident that I can win the finals, but it was just that very neutral where I have to give my best and be focused all time.
Okay, I remember that final because watching it there, but people who were here told me that the roads were empty and everyone was sort of glued to their television screens, that there was wall-to-wall coverage because of the time zone from early in the morning till late in the evening till your match got over. There was sort of wall-to-wall coverage on Indian news TV, which is sort of reserved for a big sort of cricket match. That's how sort of that captured the attention, that Olympic final against Marine. What do you remember, Sindhu, after all these 4 years? What do you remember of that final?
Um, well, it was a really good match, and yeah, I always think that I should have won, but at the end of the day, one can win and one should lose. And yeah, of course, Carolina also played her best game, and it was a tough game after winning the first game, and I lost the second game, and third game it was very equal. It was 10-all, and then she was leading, and it finished it off. I think 21-15 in the third set. But yeah, at the moment, after the game was over, I was a bit upset where I was on the floor lying down. But I thought that I've got what I've not expected, so I must be happy. And that way, I got up and then congratulated her. And yeah, it was a wonderful week for me, and I have to accept that. It's not that I have lost and everything is over. I have to accept and take it in a positive way, where I have to think that I've got what I've not expected, and that's a very big thing. So that's how it all went. And yeah, standing on the podium, and yeah, I was just on cloud nine, I must say, because those moments were really never forgettable, I would say. And after I came back to India, uh, I remember people telling me that you don't even know how it was in India. And the reception that I've got when I came back was amazing, I would say, because as soon as I got down at the airport, from the airport until Gachibowli, there were all of them standing, from children to the older people, holding my banners and giving me flowers and bouquets. And I think the love and support towards the sport and also towards me, it was just amazing. I just don't have words to explain.
No, yes, I remember I was still there in Rio, and we were watching those visuals of you landing and all of that, and it's pretty special to see those kind of outpouring of emotion, because it's very rare to see it in Indian sport, especially in Olympic sport. But what I really liked after that, Sindhu, was that you never rested on your laurels. Immediately after that, you won a Super Series. You started, World Championships. You were there in the finals, even though initially it wasn't the medal you wanted. Then you won the Super Series final as well. And it was sort of, it became a norm in Indian sport that if PV Sindhu is entering a big tournament, then she is going to be a medal magnet. That it's sort of, she is going to win a medal. Was that a different kind of pressure, or was it just that emotional high, and you sort of realized that, listen, I am here at this world stage, and let me do as much damage as I can as this form continues?
I would say there is definitely pressure, and because there's a lot of responsibility, because everybody thinking that every time I go into the match, that people think that okay, Sindhu is going to get a medal, which is not possible always. And sometimes, and I used to think, okay, when I go to the World Championship, before the World Championships, I used to think that people are thinking this way. So I hope it doesn't distract me. But when I go into the match, I never think about all these things. And yeah, even in the recent one, even in 2018, when I played my World Championships, it was just that, okay, I need to give my best. I never looked back thinking that, people used to think like that, or people want me to win all the time. It was never that in my mind. Because if I keep thinking that, that would add extra pressure, and, I wouldn't have given my best. Think about people that, people want me to win, and that would add extra pressure, obviously. So rather than that, I used to go into the court, being focused and thinking that, it is very important. This match is very important for me. That's how it was.
Okay, and then the wait sort of ended at the World Championships last year in Switzerland, Sindhu. I'm going to be a bit cheeky, because I'm going to ask you to pick between the Olympic silver medal, which was an amazing high, and then winning the World Championships last year, because that sort of ended a run of personal trauma for you as well. So you're going to pick one of them and tell me why. I'm putting you on the spot.
Actually, maybe I would be neutral, but also not neutral, because, well, 2016 has been a life changer where my life has completely changed. And 2019, but carrying that 2016 keeping it in my mind, I would say that gave me a lot of confidence. That gave me a thought that I can do much better, and that changed my game. And right now, because of that, I won the 2019. I'm very thankful to all of them who have really supported me, because it's not just me, but behind me, beside me, there are a lot of people's hard work as well.
Yes, that's the perfect cue to end this interview, Sindhu. I must say that right now you're at the peak of your sport. You are world champion, and when the next Olympics in Tokyo happen a year from now, as I see it, you have two clear targets. One is to emulate Sushil Kumar by by becoming the second Indian to win 2 Olympic medals, or you could go one better and join Abhinav Bindra at the top of the Olympic podium. I'm not putting pressure on you, but that's what you sort of achieved over the years, Sindhu. So here's hoping you have a great run into those Tokyo Olympics, and we, in 4 years' time, have another such conversation looking back at the success at Tokyo. Thank you so much for joining me.
WION Broadband Olympic Edition, partnered by Kia Sonet, Wild by Design. Get ready for a new level of wild. PokerStars, India's home of online poker.